Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 in May. Today is Sunday, July 17th, and I hope your day is starting well and that you've got something really fun planned for the day. I am here with my cup of tea as usual. I'm staying with a friend in the south of France, and she has a cupboard of really weird and wonderful teas. So I wanted to try something new today, and I looked through and found a tin that said Russian tea. And that's all I know, so I made myself a cup of Russian tea. It's very dark and it's strong and tasty, and I like it. So that's my tea for the day. And I'm just going to take a few minutes now, so just get settled, relax, and I'll bring you up to speed on what's happening in the world. I wanted to also, first of all, bring you up to date on the situation in Turkey. As you know, there was a attempted military coup, and the government now claims that they've got everything under control. They are obviously taking a very heavy hand to find the people who are responsible, and they've arrested about 3,000 soldiers, and they have fired over 2,000 judges, people that they felt were involved in this coup. Those people who perpetrated the coup will be tried, they're saying, for treason, and obviously very serious situation. But right now, the news that's coming, and by the way, it's changing seems every minute. So there may be things that have happened when you watch this news broadcast that have changed, but this is where it is right at this moment. Of course, there's the judging and who's responsible is under the conversations about that. But I think it's best just to say that the Turkish situation is under control, and that they are now working out their government, and we wish them well. We just hope that things stay stable there. In the United States, yesterday, Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, formally announced his running mate. This is Mike Pence, who's the Indiana governor. And he pretty much outlined what their stance is going to be on law and order and strength, and how Mike Pence, in his opinion, is going to give him the right partner for that, for implementing the changes he feels are needed. So that was the formal announcement, and I think that next week the Republican convention begins, and there'll be a lot of conversation about what they stand for, what their values are, and give the United States citizens a choice. In Europe, of course, France is still reeling from the attack in Nice. The 3 days of mourning has begun, and so shops are shut, flags are flying at half-mast, and it's really, time now for everybody to reflect and honor the people who were lost. So many stories are coming out now, the people that were killed, people from the United States, all over the world, and of course the kids, which breaks my heart. And it's just horrible. But anyway, the ISIS group has claimed that the man who did this attack was one of their soldiers. So they now have claimed formally responsibility for the terror attack in Nice. And I'm just seeing pictures, that are beginning to be released now that just honestly just break your heart. And the one that really struck me were these little baby strollers all along the street in Nice, where people had obviously just grabbed their kids and just run and left the baby strollers there. And there was just a line of baby strollers, one after the other. And it's just, innocent people are just victims of these crimes. And so, again, our hearts go out to the people in France. But, being here makes it all the more poignant. And I have a deeper respect now for what people are dealing with. So that's the situation in France. I always like to do an article that's really about our generation, our age, things that are on our minds. And I found an article about, someone had put together a list of regrets that people might have in their life, as they get older. And there actually are 30 things, 31, I think. And so I'll leave the link for you to review it at your leisure. But there were a few that really struck me. So let's just sit for a second and go over some of these things that you might regret when you're older, because we're still so young. We've got so much ahead of us. And these are things that obviously you can change. You can just start doing these things right now if you feel that you didn't do them, or you might regret not doing them. So the first thing is not traveling when you had the chance. And you know me, I love traveling anywhere, on a bus, on a train, and it doesn't have to be global travel. It can just be to the next town, just doing things that take you to another place. So that's one thing, just not traveling when you had the opportunity. So that's one thing. Second is not learning another language. You might regret this. I certainly am feeling that here in France, because I studied French in high school, but I haven't studied it, I haven't learned it properly, and it really just stops you from communicating at a heart level with people. So I think that might be something I would regret. So I'm going to pick up language, either German or French, and just give it my best. The next thing that this article says you might regret is forgoing sunscreen, not using sunscreen on your face. And, I just did an interview with Ariane Poole, who's a beauty consultant, she's a beauty professional. She's an amazing woman, and she's done tons of stuff for 60andMe. But Ariane talked this time in the interviews about the importance of sunscreen. And I just recently seen a lot of 50 SPF sunscreens. So I think the market is now beginning to recognize the importance too. So sunscreen is something you might regret not doing. Another thing was you might regret failing to make fitness a part of your life. And, we've done a lot of articles on this. And for me, it's yoga. I've started my gentle yoga again. And for me, that's the thing I knew I would regret when I get older, not being able to be flexible and move and have strength. And so I think that's important. It used to be able to not regret not physically getting in shape. A couple more, you might regret not being strong enough to say I love you after being hurt. And I think that this is something that we talk about a lot in 60andMe, but it's just something, just don't be afraid to say I love you and to mean it. Give people that gift, and then they'll give it back to you. So that's one thing. There's a lot here, and I think that if you read the list, you'll find at least 10 I did that I could tick and say, I might regret if I don't do this. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it part of my life. I think that's really important. So that's the boomer story for today. But the next thing is, this is a cute one. I'll just finish this real fast. I found this story about a woman, believe it or not, who is celebrated last month her 86th birthday. 86. And not only was it her birthday, but she celebrated the birth of her 86th grandchild. Now, I think there were a few great-grandchildren in there, but 86. And so if you think you've got a problem remembering all the birthdays of your grandchildren or your kids, this woman, her name was, what was her name? Marie Frey, and she lives in Ohio, and honestly, she's got 86 grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and the last one was called Blakey Grace, and I think that's a cute name for a new baby, but anyway, congratulations to Marie, and just a really cool, feel-good story. So the only other thing I'd like to remind you is that today is a day to go out and enjoy peach ice cream. It's Peach Ice Cream Day. And I love peaches. So all you women in Georgia, this is your day. And if we've got anybody who's in Georgia and is eating ice cream from peaches today, just put it in the comments below, and we'll share the virtual taste with you. So that's it. Now, don't forget also to subscribe to this news channel, and you can do that by subscribing below, and you'll be the first to know when the news updates appear. That's important news, a reminder for you. And the last thing is to ask you a question. And, every day I just like to get a conversation going. That's why we do this Mornings with 60andMe. It's for you. It's for you to feel included in a community that cares about each other, and that you're not alone. We're all here for each other. And so at the end of the day, end of the session here, I'd like to just say a quick question. And that is not what your regrets are. I was going to ask you that, but really the question is, what is the one positive thing that you are going to start doing in your life in your 60s? What is one positive thing that you haven't done that you want to start doing today? And put it in the section below. We'll start a conversation. And for now, just have a fabulous Sunday. Have a great day. Take care, and we'll talk again tomorrow morning on Mornings with 60andMe. Thanks, everyone. Take very good care. Bye-bye.